Hey everybody, how's everybody doing out in Grizzland there? Good, I hope. So I'm going to be trying to do a little more regular, try to do more weekly sort of updates, I guess. Keep everybody current. So I think I showed these the last time I did the vid. All these guys I've just added during this week. So I'm up to about 35 done with glass work. You know, that's not including trimming bolts and sanding. That'll take a little while yet, but I like to get all the glass done and then just do that all at once because there's nothing worse than getting that fiberglass dust all over everything when you're trying to do other work. So I like to leave it till last if I can. So we'll talk about that little guy on the end of the table in a minute. So we'll just talk about a few things. We'll see what I got on the tables here. I've got a few more that are going to finish up in the next day or two. These couple here should be goners the next day or so. And then these are all new freshies. Most of them are 2-piece, some will be a 3-piece. They're ready to go. My traffic cones, as everybody likes to say. I'll show you in the summer what those are going to be. Okay, so last time we talked, we were using the flex foamit from Smooth On to fill all the voids in some pots. I just want to show you can use it as well in voids like this. Can you see this fairy, like her wings? And it should be a problem to do glass work in, but if I just make one big foam insert in there, it's going to be perfect, and then I can glass right over the top of it. All you have to do is just make yourself a little dam on the ends, either with this tape or like the red tuck tape, just to make a little perimeter around so your foam isn't going to run out. Again, remember you have to put a release on it, so wax and PVA, and I always go a little higher, a bit more than what you think is going to happen, just in case you put too much in and it overflows. You'll be able to get it off your model pretty easy. If you don't, I remember I said it sticks really good to rubber, and you'll have a heck of a time getting it off. So just to prep yourself for that. And when I talked, I forgot one other thing to mention about this product. It does work better when it's warmer. I think you can see right there. Store and use the temperature 73 degrees Fahrenheit or 23 C. I used it one morning. It was quite cool in here, and like before, I had my furnace really kicking up good, and it just takes longer. If you've got it nice and warm, it kicks off really fast, and it's done in minutes, and in an hour you're pulling out of your model. So just something to keep in mind. I should have kept it in my office where it's usually around 70 degrees usually in the evening. I keep it a bit warmer in there. I keep my resin in there to stay warm overnight as well before bringing, because cold resin's also something you don't like working with. So just wanted to mention that. I sort of forgot about it last week. So we'll just zip over to this table here. So you all know I never make mistakes, right? Yeah, all the time. All the time. So let's just go over this one here. So maybe we can all learn from this mistake here. I think the reason that I did this mistake is when I'm seaming up multiples, like I'm doing 8 or 10 or 12 at a time. Sometimes you get ahead of yourself a little bit and you start going a little too quick and missing little cues. And of course, I'm just making up a BS excuse, but it's something that shouldn't have happened. So I was about halfway doing the glass on this one, and I noticed what I was doing was not going to work right away. And I don't know if you can see it, if we can go straight over the top here. Can you see the draft on these legs? So this is a little baby Buddha, and he's sitting in the lotus position with his knees crossed, his legs crossed, right? And you can see his knees are out, but can you see how deep the undercut is here, right? And how deep it goes back into here. Well, I realized right away as I'm doing it, it's not going to work. You're never going to be able to pull that off. It's going to be a lock-on for sure. There is one way to get it off. So what I did was I just kept going with the glass, finished it off, already knew what I was going to do ahead of time to fix it. So what you have to do is, I told you I like to pull my glass when it's just finishing kicking off, It's a little bit on the soft side. If you're gentle, you won't fold it, you won't wreck it. That's the only time you can get it on. If you know you're going to have a lock on, for God's sake, don't leave it overnight because you'll never get it off. But if it's your stuff is just kicked and it's still a bit warm, your glass, you can gently pull. So this side, the draft was less than this side. This side was really deep, really deep. This one here, this one isn't as bad. So what I did was concentrated on pulling from this side. So when it's a bit warm, you have a little bit of grace that it'll actually stretch a little bit, and you can pull it out, and it'll glide over that air there. And then it was easy enough. Once I got it past here, then it was easy to unlock it and take it off of the whole piece. If you waited overnight or you waited till that cured in a few more hours, you'd never get that thing off, and then you've got a big problem. So now you're saying, now I've got this front piece. What can you do? Well, you can either redo it like you've gotten it off and you're happy. You could make a seam and make a new one. Or what I did in this case for these smalls like this is all I did was I took it off the piece, right? And I took it over to my bandsaw, which is over there, and it has a really fine blade on it. And all I did was zip it right in half. Just laid it on its back and zipped it in half. And you can see it comes together really nice on the model. It stays reasonably tight. So now, do I have to worry about this? No, because once I get this, sorry, I'm trying to work one-handed here. So once you have it back on the model again, like that, you're going to have this bolted up. So once you bolt the front and the back together and this top flange here, it's going to stay tight. Like it's always going to stay nice and tight for you. Like it's going to stay like this. You don't really have a problem. You don't have to worry about any separation for when you pour and it's leaving a line. Now, if I had the same problem, say I worked on something like under that blanket there, that's the big Venus lady, or say even this big pot, if I had a problem, and then I cut, it's going to be a wider cut, and it's going to be hard to keep that together, and you might get what's happening is the rubber will purse between the seams on a large model, and you're going to have a line on your finished product. So with these smalls, you can get away with it. You're okay. Once you bolt it up, that seam is going to stay tight, and you don't have to worry about your little muck up. Now, obviously, a lot of you don't have a bandsaw. I'm fortunate to have one. You can also use this. It's the Dremel with the diamond cutoff bit. It works great too. You'd go through that like super duper fast. And worst comes to worst, you don't have a Dremel, then you can use your angle grinder with a cutoff bit too. Just make sure you protect your eyes, wear some eye protection and ear protection when you use this stuff, right? It's going to be a little bit wider than what my bandsaw is, but you'll still be okay on something like that. Have I ever had, I know this might come up, have I ever had a lock-on like this and couldn't get it off the model? And the answer has been a long time, but yes, I have had it happen before. And how do I get it off? I got it off with that. You just have to be super light and just go over and over and over and over again, and just go really slow, just to the point where you can get the fiberglass and crack it. You don't want to go through and hit your rubber, but you can get it off. It's a little hair raising, and you have to have patience, but you can do it. So like I said, it's just if you're worried about something like this, you know, you think, oh, you don't like that gap. I mean, you can always just put some duct tape or something across it while you pour it, and take it off when you want to unmold. But I just wanted to bring that up, that you know, mistakes happen all the time, and hopefully just this can help some of you folks if you have an issue like that too, what you can do to help yourself out of a mess. So I hope that helps somebody out in the future, and we'll just say bye-bye for now, and thinking of spring. Okay, gang, we'll see you later.